Welcome to the Tuesday show, everybody. Today we have a bunch of news, but the two biggest stories of the day is the iPhone 16 was announced, and also the PlayStation 5 Pro was announced with a shocking price tag, which is insane. Before we get into that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And if you enjoy the video, watch it all the way through and subscribe. Thank you. Let's get into it. Rockstar tells Rockstar Games to go F yourself after extremely low offer to use hit song in GTA 6, IGN says. Martin Ware, founding member of Heaven 17, and before then synth pop pioneers The Human Torch, tweeted to tell Rockstar to go F yourself after allegedly receiving what he called an extremely low offer to use 80s classic Temptation in GTA 6. I was recently contacted by my publishers on behalf of Rockstar Games with the possibility of using Temptation on the new Grand Theft Auto 6, Ware said. Naturally excited about the immense wealth that was about to head my way, I scrolled to the bottom of the email to read the offer. It was $7,500 for a buyout of any future royalties from the game, forever. To put this in context, Grand Theft Auto 6 gross, wait for it, $8.6 billion. But think of the exposure. Go F yourself. And you know what? This is like the most valid reaction ever, because I'm pretty sure that $8.6 billion is alone for the sales of the single player game. The multiplayer game has amassed a lot of wealth for Rockstar Games that also uses the soundtracks that it uses in the single player game. So while I don't understand why Rockstar is trying to act like it's a mom and pop store that can't afford to pay a decent amount of money for the music that they use in their games. Add another zero to that and add a couple of royalties to that as well, you got yourself a fair deal. Especially when you made $8 billion, my guy. I realize that the next GTA game in GTA 6 probably cost Rockstar Games a rumored amount $1 billion to make, but at the same time, the music in these games are one of the reasons why it sells so well. So the reaction to have $500 to keep your music forever in a game that's gonna make money online forever is a little insensitive, and I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't make this same offer to Kendrick Lamar without adding a couple of zeros. Granted, he's not as popular as Kendrick Lamar, but at the same time, it's like, come on, Rockstar Games. It's cringe at the levels that they're trying to save money, and not saving money, but just being greedy in general, and it makes them look really bad. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think this is a fair deal? Should he get royalties? Should he get an extra zero? Maybe on 2 zeros? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. So if I would giving a liar award to an actor that lied about a role that he had in order to keep his cameo under wraps, it wouldn't be Tom Holland, that's for sure, but it would be Andrew Garfield. And there is rumors that are saying that he's going to be in a Spider-Man 4 and starring as Spider-Man as Andrew Garfield, like the way he did in Spider-Man 3 as a cameo. But the man insists that this isn't true and you might have been duped by the internet. The Amazing Spider-Man star Andrew Garfield has denied he's returning in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Spider-Man 4. The internet is a big place, Garfield said. I think there's a lot of people who will say anything to get clicks, so you might have been duped, I'm afraid. Yeah, Andrew, I don't believe the floor that you're standing on, let alone the word that you stand on after lying to us for an entire year, which, thank you, by the way, for doing that. And if you're doing that now, thank you even more. Because, yeah, I want that to be a surprise. I want that to be something that we don't know. To be honest with you, we know too much about these movies. That's one of the things that annoys the ever-living shit out of me when it comes to these movies, is that everybody has a leak and everybody has a source of who's going to be who and what's going to happen in the movies. And spoiler alert, but it was spoiled for Endgame and Infinity War. If it weren't for the fact that I took an internet break, that giant event of Infinity War happens, and it was spoiled by Mark Ruffalo to everybody. So it's it's kind of insane that we know that much about these shows and we know about that much about these movies. I really hope that Andrew Garfield eventually gets a Spider-Man role again, because Spider-Man fans kind of got shafted when it came to Andrew Garfield. The first movie was okay. The second movie was just terrible. He needed a third redemption movie, and I think that he can do it. What he showed in the Spider-Man 3 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe in his cameo was really good, and he really reinvigorated the character and really gave us excitement to ever look forward of seeing him again. But let me know in the comment section, do you think that they'll ever make an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man again? Do you think that he's telling the truth, or do you think he's lying and he's doing his Andrew Garfield and the Oscar goes to Best Liar and acting is Andrew Garfield moment? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Shogun is probably one of the best shows on TV and has shown the testament of FX on trying to rebrand itself of being one of the big boys like HBO Max when it comes to making great shows that are high quality, that pretty much are blockbuster movies, but you can watch at home as a show. And one of those shows is Shogun, that just blew me away at the cinematography, at the acting, and the actors that were in it, the setting. Everything was perfect in that show. But if you're going into the show trying to find a show that's action-packed and people cutting each other up all the time, it's not that type of show. It lends itself to kind of the same thing that Game of Thrones is. It's a novella. It has fighting in it, it has action in it, but it's not necessarily super action-packed like the way an action-adventure show would be. But it's not surprising that at the Emmys, they kind of raked with the awards. It won in Best Casting for a Drama, Cinematography, Guest Actor in a Drama, the Title Design, Period Costume, Period Fantasy Hairstyle, Period Fantasy Makeup, Picture Editing, Production Design, Prosthetic and Makeup, Sound Editing, Sound Mixing, Special Visual Effects, and Stunt Performance. So, everybody loved this show, and if you're looking for a great drama to watch that is beautiful and has great acting and that has great love triangles, and not to mention, this show has some beautiful ass people. To be real, the people in this show are freaking gorgeous, beautiful. So if you want to watch a great aesthetically pleasing show with great drama and great moments, this is the show for you. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that they deserve to win all these awards? Do you think Shogun is even a good show? I've heard some people who haven't liked it, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. James Earl Jones is beloved and was beloved is an understatement of the decade. So when I read James Earl Jones, mourned by everyone from Mike Hamill to the MLB, it was a shocking experience to say the least, that I was actually recording and about to go live on one of my streams when I found out that James Earl Jones had passed away. And it's one of the saddest things that's ever happened, because James Earl Jones was a prolific actor that was the voices of Darth Vader in Star Wars, Mufasa and the Lion King, in addition to countless other films and TV roles. He passed away yesterday morning, and there's not enough that I can say about James Earl Jones, of how much of an impact he had on my childhood, from Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back, that really blew my mind, to Mufasa, that really kind of set the father standard of what everybody saw in terms of a lion, and kind of made that lion come to life as a dad. And we felt for him and mourned for that character when he passed away. Because I'll tell you one thing, I never cried in any movies, but as a kid, when I saw Mufasa pass away, it was really impactful and kind of traumatizing, to be honest with you. But yeah, and the amount of entertainment that this guy gave us is sad to see him go, but I hope he went peacefully, and I hope that his family is mourning him and feeling the mourning and feeling the things that come with that and are okay. But I hope it is a consolidation to say that this man will be missed, and that I hope that his family's okay, and I hope that everybody is safe and with each other mourning. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that... Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know about a moment that you saw in James Earl Jones of kind of seeing oh shoot, I love this guy. For me personally, I was the Lion King and Darth Vader. But one of the things that I know him for, that a lot of people don't know him for, which kind of shows my background of what I used to be, is that he's like the voice of God in the Bible. He did a whole reading of the Bible, and if you ever want to check that out, it's kind of cool. Like, it's really cool the fact that he did that, and yeah, his voice is amazing, it's powerful, and he will be sorely missed. So now for one of our main stories, the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it came with a lot of changes. Mark Cerny gave a presentation this morning and kind of broke down piece by piece of everything that is kind of improving. Not only that, but the internet kind of reacted to the price tag, which we'll get into later. Let's get into what is changed on the PlayStation 5 Pro. He named the big three of changes, which is coming to the PlayStation 5 Pro, is a larger, faster GPU for 45% improved rendering speed, enhanced ray tracing allowing up to triple the speed of PlayStation 5, introducing PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, which is essentially the FSR or the DLSS of PlayStation, but it's their own version that PlayStation Studios created themselves for machine learning, increased game detail, and resolution. Mark Cerny did make some comparisons to the PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5. Examples of improved performance on the PS5 Pro compared to the original PS5 include smoother gameplay at higher frame rates, and they did demonstrate a showcase of game performance upgraded with titles like The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So all these games are going to have day one ability to be able to use these enhancements. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of the enhancements don't really need a patch. It does if you want like a higher resolution, but in terms of like the FSR, I think it can do automatically already. But I could be wrong on that. There's also going to be a broader use of machine learning when it comes to the PlayStation 5. PSSR and other machine learning techniques boost both pixel detail and frame rate, with specific benefits for Horizon Forbidden West. So this is just going to be a thing that we're going to be seeing from now on when it comes to AI and machine learning, when it comes to frame rates, when it comes to resolution, when it comes to even playing your game. A lot of machine learning is going to be integrated into the PlayStation 5, which is really exciting because it really needs it. Consoles really do need upscaling. And last but not least, the improvement in ray tracing, which is really needed if people really want shinies, this is what it's for. It's for the enthusiast buyer who really wants this. Improved ray tracing is a must, along with upscaling, because the truth is consoles really need that boost, unlike PCs, because you can't change the GPU to improve anything on it. Like, you can't change anything to improve it except for the memory, and that's about it. But improved ray tracing is notable improvements in games like Grand Theft Auto 7 and Hogwarts Legacy. So overall, this thing is going to be much more powerful than the PlayStation 5, which is cool. Like, this product isn't for me, and especially when I heard the price tag that the PlayStation 5 is going to be $699, which is essentially $708, which, damn, that's a lot of money, and I can't really justify paying $700 for a device that isn't even a PS6. So in my opinion, this is what the PlayStation 4 Pro should have been, but the price tag that it's going to be with $699 is just not justifiable for me, and a lot of people are kind of getting upset over the fact that this device is $699 or even exists at all, and saying that this is PlayStation's blunder. But you have to understand that this device is not really for everybody. It's for the enthusiasts, for people who want it. This doesn't hurt you if you don't buy it. The PlayStation 5 games are still going to look good. They're still going to play at the way that they're supposed to, and you're not going to miss out on anything besides shinier graphics, which you can wait for on the PS6 if you really don't want to get a PlayStation 5 Pro that badly, which in my personal opinion, I would wait, because this isn't really necessarily worth it, because you're going to get 3 years at most of this thing being able to play, and then the PlayStation 6 is going to be announced and it's going to come out. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that the PlayStation 5 Pro is worth it? Do you think that everybody should buy one? And do you think it's going to hurt the PlayStation 5 in terms of the quality of games that are coming on there? Do you think they're gonna like kind of skimp out on it? I think that everything's gonna be fine. People are overreacting a little bit, but whatever. We'll see how this goes. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So there was a lot of technological like announcements when it comes to different devices. One of them being the AirPods, which I really don't care about, and the AirPods Pro and the Apple Watch that's coming and the improvements that they've made. But the main thing that you guys are all here for is the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro, which had a lot of improvements over the iPhone 15. And yeah, I really like the ease of use and kind of like things that they added. So let's get into the things that they've kind of made. The iPhone 16 is now with an extra button. We finally got a glimpse of the new iPhone 16, which looks a lot like the iPhone 15 that I reviewed last year, says IGN. Apple is using a new color-infused glass coming in new ultramarine, teal, and pink colorways, which are, of course, accompanied with white and black iPhones we all love. The iPhone 16 also has a new action button that was introduced with the iPhone 15 Pro. This programmable button that can do all kinds of different functionalities quickly. There's also a new button too. Apple has added a dedicated camera button which will both bring up the camera and act as a hardware shutter, much like an actual camera. Much like a Mac touchpad, the camera button is less than a button and more of a haptic sensor. It can absolutely act as a button if you just need to snap a quick photo, but it can also sense lighter touches and movement, so you can use it to adjust photo settings on the fly without having to touch the screen. So not only did they add the action camera to the regular like iPhone 16 like non-Pro version, so now that action button is going to be there, but for the iPhone Pro is going to have a kind of like a button on the top like side of the thing when you take a photo that you can move side to side and to zoom in or to click a photo, which is really cool. I really didn't think that Apple, the ones who were called brave for removing buttons and just using touchscreen only, would actually go in this direction to add a new button and a new feature that is on the iPhone, which is really cool. And if you look at the presentation and how they use it, it's pretty sensible, pretty reasonable. It's nothing difficult that consumers can't use. And I, for one, am looking forward to this one thing that they've updated. And yeah, I think you kind of saw it coming with a new camera button. There's gonna be a new and improved camera. The iPhone 16 now has a 48 megapixel main sensor along with an ultra wide lens, which is capable to capture up to 2.6 times more light. The ultra wide lens also allows the iPhone 16 to capture macro photography. The SoC, the chip that's on board, has been upgraded to power AI or Apple Intelligence. AI workloads demand a powerful chip, and Apple is answering with a new A18 chip with a 16-core neural engine, which is twice as powerful as the neural engine found in the A16 Bionic. Apple is also adding 17% more memory, which will help with memory-hungry AI workloads like LLMs. The CPU is also much more powerful and efficient, which should help with battery life. If there's one thing that I really like in improvements in any phone is the camera and battery usage. Those are the two things that I really want in a phone, because one of the things that you notice when you use your phone, it probably only has like maybe 2 or 3 hours of functionality when you're watching something on most phones, and also with iPhones it's probably like 4 hours of usage of actually watching things on like YouTube or scrolling through the web. So I really like that they improved it, along with a big beefy new chip and also a big beefy 48 megapixel telephoto lens camera. So yeah, the improvements are starting to stack up, and it's going really well so far in the things that Apple's added. One outrageous claim that they made was that Apple did claim that the iPhone 16 is more powerful than high-end desktops, which, to be honest with you, is complete BS. Like, only Apple fans, like hardcore Apple fans, will believe this, but this is not stronger than my PC, and this is not more powerful than most people's PCs that game. The more powerful A18 chip is needed to power all the AI workload Apple revealed back in WWDC 2024. The iPhone 16 will be able to run in the background, learning from how you use your phone to deliver better experiences. However, a mobile chipset can only go so far, and some of that computation needs to be handed off to the cloud. Apple is claiming that anything handed off to the cloud is completely private, with data being totally anonymized. Which, you know what, like, I don't like the fact that any corporation has my information, but that's just kind of like that's what it is. That's the world we live in. And I don't mind the fact that this thing's gonna need cloud work. To be honest with you, don't be surprised if they charge for this, like the way Pixel is, like the way Samsung is. These AI features are not gonna be free, and you should not expect them to be free. You should see it coming that more than likely the stuff that's handed off to the cloud in order to be used to work that's not on board is 100% going to be at one point or another they're going to charge for it. Just a heads up, they're going to charge for it. With new AI features, you'll be able to more easily find photos with search function. You'll be able to make new emojis and have Siri help you edit messages to make them more appropriate. How much of this can be handled completely native on the device without a cellular connection, however, will remain to be seen. I would say only half of that is going to be able to be used on the A18, and that's because it's a really beefy chip. It's really powerful. It probably has AI cores on it, but I guarantee you at least 50% or more is going to be used on the cloud, because a lot of the time, like they want to monetize this really bad from AI. They're gonna be doing that. Guarantee it, they will. I guarantee that 50% or more of the workload is going to be thrown off to the cloud. It's just going to happen. Expect it. The iPhone 16 also features some important gaming improvements with an entirely new cooling system that should stop the iPhone from getting too hot during long gaming sessions. Yeah, reportedly a lot of people couldn't use their phone while playing Death Stranded on their phone. So it's extremely needed to be able to play games on this. This is while providing up to a 30% better GPU performance than the iPhone 15, which should help with some of the AAA games Apple has been putting on iOS lately. Apple has been trying to make itself more game-centric when it comes to their phones, their iPads, and even their iMacs, which for a long time have been struggling for developers to even develop on the device at all because it's hard to develop. I think there's some issues there with development and coding that's kind of wonky with their OS compared to Windows, so we'll see how that goes. But the fact that they made a beefier GPU and they made it cooler than the iPhone 15 is a step up, and I commend them for that. It's great. These are so far really good improvements. The new Pro iPhone has a 6.3 display for the base model and a 6.9-inch display for the Pro Max, which is slightly larger than what the iPhone 15 Pro offered. The Pro is still sporting a titanium finish with 4 colorways: black, white, neural titanium, and desert, which is more muted rose gold. The iPhone 16 will start at $799 for the 128GB model, with the iPhone 16 Plus starting at $899 for the same storage option. For the iPhone Pro, you can get it for $999 for 128GB storage, with the iPhone 16 Pro Max costing $1,119 to the start with 256GB of storage. This is where all the issues for me come in, is the fact that these phones cost so much and iPhone acts like mobile storage costs so much money that they have to charge you $100 extra for 2 to 100GB of memory, when in reality this costs like maybe $50 to $150 of memory to be able to add to the phone. It's gross that people are doing this. You see Nvidia doing it with their GPUs, where they have a Super Ti 4070 that has 12GB, while the 4070 Ti Super has 16GB of memory, but it's a 300 plus premium to be able to pay for that. And the same thing happens with iPhone. With the iPhone Pro Max being at $1,119 and only having 256GB of storage is a crime against humanity. That is the most gross thing that these companies are doing. And Apple isn't the only one that's doing it. It's other companies that are starting to do it as well. You see it with PlayStation, but Apple is the most egregious one, along with Nvidia with its GPUs. The fact that nobody's calling this out and more than likely is still going to get this phone. And granted, we all need phones. It's a big necessity, especially if you're an influencer or if you're making videos with your phone. It's understandable that you need it. But the fact that consumers are okay with being screwed over like this is so mindless and stupid. It is a crime that I have to pay $300 more to be able to even get 500 gigabytes of memory on my iPhone Pro Max. And that is what companies are doing right now. That is the core of everything that's going on in companies that are greedy for the sake of being greedy. Because all-time high profits are the only thing these companies care about at the moment, which is an unsustainable thing to be able to do. Thank you for watching. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section what you think about all the improvements. Do you think that the price is justified? Do you think that the features that they've added in the iPhone 16 is good? Are you going to get it? Let me know in the comment section. And thank you for watching. And remember, you're pretty good.